Hello, everybody, and thank you so much for tuning in today, Mr. and Mrs. Traveler.
It's ElleKosGlam, Miss Traveler. I'm so glad to be back. Wow, I feel like I never left.
Yeah! Yes!
Okay,
Yes!
let's do the shirt checks first. The swag checks on our shirts here.
Right.
This was my gift to Mr. Traveler for his birthday. Yes, was it for your birthday?
Something like that.
Yeah, around his birthday.
Look here. Oh my God, guys. Here, what you want to know. We feel amazing.
Amazing. And my shirt's supposed to be pointing the other way, but you get it. It's supposed to be the arrow's supposed to go that way.
We're sitting on the wrong
Yeah,
side.
we're on the wrong side. You want to switch?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Okay.
All right. First of all, thank you so much for watching, guys. If you could, please do us a great big favor by hitting them thumbs up. Let us know that you're liking it, you're loving it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, share, and subscribe, ladies and gentlemen. That's the biggest compliment you can pay us.
Yes.
So today, guys, we want to just kind of recap everything that we went through on the Adventure of the Seas. It was our first cruise back. I'm talking fast because I am excited. So it was. We want to kind of recap everything we went through. Of course, we did plenty of vlogs for you guys so you can see it. We have a lot of information from Perfect Day, and we filmed so much stuff. It's going to be, you'll be having stuff coming at you left and right.
You're going to be very busy this week.
We'll probably do some kind of like a little watch party or something. Maybe next Sunday we're going to put some of the clips up there. I was going to try to do it today, but we just got in very late last night. We'll talk about that in a few minutes.
I can try to work on it later on.
I did want to share some of the clips with you, but alas, they're still on the camera.
Yes.
So we'll do that next Sunday. But we can definitely talk about our time on the ocean and get you excited or put to rest any of your fears about the cruising, getting back to cruising and all that good stuff. So any questions that you guys have, put them on here. If we, we'll try to answer a bunch of these today. If not, we'll definitely come on. We'll be on here next week with some kind of a little watch party. Of course, Mr. Trevor will be working hard.
Watch party.
All week putting up. I'm sure we have the review of the food, our vlogs, of course the cruise ship tour. So let me say that we went on this ship. I don't know how. I have to look up and see how many years ago it was. It was quite a while ago we went on this ship. The upgrades.
About 20 years ago.
Yeah, I don't know if it was that long. It was at least 10 years for sure.
At least 10 years.
Yeah, so the upgrades that they've done to the ship since the last time we've been there have been really great with the Flow Rider, the Perfect Storm at the back of the ship.
Yes.
And just the general appearance of the ship. It does not feel or look like an aged ship.
It really doesn't. They added a lot of slides back there. What do you call it? Amplified?
Mm-hmm.
They amplified it, and you can actually tell, but there are some things that's still left behind that makes me feel nostalgic, like the sign that's above the pool.
Mm-hmm.
It was very nostalgic to see that because I remember that sign when we went 10 years ago.
Viking Sniper asked, were you the only ship at Coco Cay both times? Yes, we were. We were the only passenger ship there twice, but if you guys got a chance to watch, and I apologize for the little discrepancies we were having with the internet there, at Coco Cay.
It's a bit of a learning curve.
Well, I'll talk more about that in a moment.
Okay.
But yes, we were the only passenger ship there. The Symphony of the Seas did come in to port to pay us a visit for a quick, and it was so awesome seeing my favorite ship there in port.
Everybody who watched it live, thank you so much for watching. We're going to go ahead and add that video right here, and that way you can see the Symphony of the Seas, which is the largest ship in the world right now, docked at Perfect Day at Coco Cay.
Yes, absolutely. So some quick cruise news to go over, and then we'll move on. Real quickly, the CDC, this whole as the ship turns drama that's going on here with the industry.
Time for the tea.
So we know. Thank you so much. Let me dust off the
the super chat button because we had the real thing last week.
Boom. Let's take that off, and we got to
No games, Lofton. I like.
Here
that
we
name.
go.
No
there
games.
it is. Watch out now.
He's not for the games. He's not for the games.
Thank you, No
so
Games
much,
Lofton.
No Games.
You guys are my heroes. And what are your best advice for an unvaccinated passenger? What cruise line would be best? And thanks for the great work.
Oh, we would definitely talk about unvaccinated
Yeah.
cruisers today. because we sell with them.
Yeah. So and yeah, we'll have to kind of get to that. No games. I think that's probably needs to be maybe a separate video because
It's a lot of details
this.
to talk about.
Yeah, it's a lot of details and it's ever changing. Every day that goes past, it is a different thing. You can, definitely try with Carnival. They are allowing some people to go, but you have to fill out the paperwork for them to go. So
I think Royal is a little bit more stricter.
well, no, Royal is the same. It's kind of the same, but I don't really want to. That'll be a whole video if we start down that path.
Why don't we just talk about that like tomorrow, maybe?
Yeah,
come on and talk
we can
about
definitely do that. So
Okay.
coming up, No Games, we'll take care of that for you. Thank you so
No
much.
Games. Thank you.
Where was I going with this? So
Everybody who wishing us well, welcome back. Thank you so much. If you can, just make sure you hit that notification button. That way you know when we upload. We upload every single week, and we go live in places that you definitely want to be at. I want everybody to stop what they're doing and give us a thumbs up, because we working hard for you guys. And especially if you can hear us and you love the commentary and the content that we're putting out. It's not very easy to be the OGs of YouTube, but we are, and we'll take that title. So we work hard to keep that title, and in order for us to keep going, you have to give us a thumbs up if you love our videos. That way we can generate a lot more people who can see them. And make sure you subscribe to our channel. If you're new, comment below and please tell me where you're from. Comment below, because I definitely want to give you a shout out if you're new, and if you're from far away or if you're close. And just call us if you want to go ahead and book that next trip or excursion or resort. We do everything. We do Disney, resorts, cruises. We do everything, Mr. and Miss Traveler. Give us a call, 877-697-4470, or we can be reached at www.mr-traveler.com. You can also dial 877-MY-SHIP-O on your phone, and you'll get us just like that. You'll get me, you'll get Mr. Traveler, or you'll get Cruise Talk, who is my brother from another mother. Comment below, and I'm sure a lot of you talked to him last week when we were out. Thank you so much, Cruise Talk.
Yes, thank you, sir. Tim's Travel asks, was it as good as a pre-COVID cruise? And I'm going to say yes and no. We'll kind of get into it. More yes than no. I'll put it like that.
What was this question?
So was it as good as a pre-COVID cruise?
Oh,
so we'll talk a little bit about that.
No.
So the CDC thing. Okay, so kind of recap. So Florida tentatively wins the CDC lawsuit when the Tampa judge says that the CDC has done its overreach with its conditional sailing order and puts a halt to it. And July 18th will be the last day. Conditional sailing order goes from being law to just mere guidance. Boom. July 18th comes, CDC found an appeals court in Atlanta that said, not so quick, Judge Mary Day, and did a reversal on the decision.
Wow.
Then, I think it was yesterday, the lawsuit was pushed to the appeal. Well, the appeal process went further by the state of Florida it was headed to the Supreme Court, let's put it like that. And so I guess somewhere in the back rooms that they did their talking, the district court in Atlanta, the appeals court, reversed their decision. So we're back to the original decision with Judge Mary Day, which says the CDC conditional sailing order is mere guidance. But there are still some effects that the CDC has control over, like the mask policy and a few other things. But I said all that to say it's kind of a step in the right direction with everything else. I got some flack from somebody on there when they're saying I'm talking about this and not mentioning the governor's law about the COVID passports and all that stuff. And my response was I don't really bring it up because the cruise lines are figuring out how to go about it. It seems like what I'm getting at, it seems like that law is not being upheld. Really, I haven't heard anything about cruise lines being fined $5,000 per passenger for having to show the COVID testing stuff, but yet the cruises are going out and they're doing it. So to me, it's just kind of a non-issue at this point unless they start enforcing that law some kind of way. So I don't even bother talking about it. I'd rather focus in on the good news. We do have to keep our eye on the things that's going on with the CDC because that is an active lawsuit that is still in mediation, even though we have these decisions being made. It's not a finalized case, so this thing is fluid. It could change at any given time. So we do want to keep you up to breast about that. And then now I want to move on to positive things because I'm tired of talking about government agencies.
And speaking of government agencies, we try to bring as much as we can, as fast as we can. As you know, what's been going on the last year and a half, news change daily.
Yes.
So we try to keep up with it as fast as we can, but we do bring the facts and we tell the truth, and we're very honest on our channel. That's one thing about Mr. Traveler that separates us from the rest. We make sure we do our due diligence research and we go hard for our subscribers. So we appreciate each and every one of your comments. Thank you so much. And I also want to say hi to Veronica from Spain.
Ah, hola.
Hi to April, Quality Child Care 1. That is a
Hello
good friend
there.
of ours. Hello from Donna. She lives in Sandyville, West Virginia. Thank you so much for joining us. Lady B is She Travels. That's who she is. She's from Virginia.
Now she just asked, Lady B just asked,
Okay.
were the food and beverage options, can you scroll back down a little bit? I want to get more limited or the same as pre-COVID. To me, it looked like they didn't skip a beat as far as the food offerings, I think. But you could tell that the things that didn't get fully utilized for the dinner the previous night were incorporated into the Windjammer lunch menus in some kind of way, like they would make a
Yes.
different meal out of it,
Yeah.
which I'm not mad at them
They
for.
cut a lot of corners, but it worked.
Yeah, I'm
It
not,
worked. I
not
wasn't mad.
at them for it. I will say this, and we mentioned this a long time ago, and I almost forgot about it till we're on the ship. Back in the day when we went on the adventure the last time, it was by far the best culinary adventure we have had on a ship. The food
gosh.
was amazing.
It was amazing.
You know, this trip here, it was not bad at all.
wasn't bad.
Don't get me wrong at all. The food was very good.
It was different
Yeah.
because everything was covered. So you know how we filmed the food videos and we're able to show you all the food? Well, all the food was covered. They had tops on everything. You know, so you have to kind of ask them what you wanted and they'll pass it to you.
Yeah. So it was very good. But let's kind of recap what we did. So we've been going on this like 10-day
We've
adventure.
been going 10 days.
We spent.
Somebody, Crew Stock said you looked tanned earlier.
Oh yes, I
noticed that.
I have spent a little time in the sun, you know.
He did. Yes.
Which is kind of crazy because I live in Florida, so you think it would already be
Right.
that, but que sera, sera. So anyway, anyway, we started off our adventure in Miami. We spent a few days down there for our anniversary. Thank you so much for all the anniversary
And
love
that's
that you
where
guys had.
that's exactly where we're gonna start the vlogs at. So make sure you watch the vlogs, and you're gonna go all the way up to the last day we sailed.
So we spent our anniversary. We went to Joe's Stone Crab down in Miami Beach, which is a staple of
was
South
pampered.
Florida.
I was so pampered at Joe's.
The
my
food
God.
was amazing. If
The food was incredible.
If you've never been there, definitely something you want to try. You need reservations, or highly recommended. They actually close for a few months every year.
didn't know
And
that.
I think they're closing after August and September. I think they're closing, and then they open back up once the stone crab season starts again.
Yeah, they try
as
to
we
save
get-
as much crabs as they can in the ocean now, and I like that.
Yeah. Excellent food.
Pretty girl said my hair is really pretty. Thank you so much,
It
pretty
is.
girl.
You know, the menu's a little pricey, but you get what you pay for.
That's right. If you want luxury and service and you don't mind enjoying your 21st anniversary like we don't mind, and you know you kind of save up the few coins that you have, thank God we are able to travel now, you can go ahead and splurge at Joe's Stone Crab. We really enjoyed it. And our waitress, what was her name? I can't remember her
It's on the
name, but
video.
we'll go ahead and share it in our vlogs. She was wonderful.
Yep. So, all the prerequisites we kind of shared with you guys. All in all, this is like everything we had to have when everything was said and done.
That is all the paperwork that we had to have to cruise.
So we had to do, and now this has changed effective August 1st.
We got a super chat.
Oh, we did.
We did. From Carolyn Coleman. Thank
Oh.
you so much, Carolyn.
Hold on, we got to make it rain.
Yeah.
Let me do this properly here.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Carolyn, for that super chat. We appreciate
Thank you, Carolyn.
So
Wonderful.
what we had to do was do a a COVID testing 5 days prior to going. This is a Royal Caribbean prerequisite.
This is their protocol.
Not a Bahamas. So
Right.
you have to be vaccinated to go onto the ship as long as you are 16 and older. August 1st, that goes down to the age of 12. Also, August 1st, it goes down to 3 days before the cruise. So that is a really tight window, but they're changing it from the antigen test to the PCR test, right? It's PCR?
The PCR antigen is changing to the rapid.
Yeah, you can do any of the 3 tests on there. So you can do a rapid test and they will accept it.
Right.
That is the new change with Royal Caribbean.
That change happened when we were sailing.
Yes. And I think that's in response to all the Delta variant that's going around. So they just want to make sure things are good. As far as I know, we had no cases on our ship at all. We didn't hear about anything. I do know that the Crystal Serenity was also going out of Nassau, and from our understanding, talking to the guests on there, this is I haven't heard this in stone. I heard this from the passengers. They told us while they were on the ship, 2 people contracted COVID and they had the same thing, vaccinated crews. They tested the people that are around them. Nobody else had it. They isolated them, did what they had to do, and there was no other cases on there. Also heard the same thing about the Celebrity Summit.
The summit.
We also heard that also.
2 cases also on the
That
summit.
is, I want to put a disclaimer on this that's hearsay that we heard from the passengers on there, but that's what we did hear. I heard one from a pretty reputable source that I know. The other one was from a passenger that we were on the airplane with.
Right.
For the Crystal.
And I think they were kids.
So I don't know. So anyway, so we had to do those prerequisites. We also had to go and do the Bahamas visa before we got on board the ship. $40 per person also includes some insurance protection on there in case you do contract COVID.
Yes.
So we had to have those things. You had to check in a day before your cruise with Royal Caribbean on their app to say whether or not you've had any illnesses or felt a fever or vomiting and all that kind of stuff on there. All those things in hand, you can go. We flew out of Miami, day of the cruise. That was relatively uneventful. The only thing, Miami just is awful with their signs and directions. This is really bad, but uneventful. We got there. We flew Bahamas Air. So we got to the.
You'll see all of that in the blogs.
They asked us for the Bahama visa at the desk.
Yes.
We gave them all that information.
You fill all that out before you even sail, before you even fly out. You fill it out before you leave home.
And then we got on board the plane. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. We're good.
Yep, we're good. Now, one thing about the Bahamas, they were very, very strict about masks. You could not go on port without a mask. You could not walk around outside without a mask. You had to have a mask on 24/7, and it was very hot. So instead of us going to a port to sell out, we had to go to a hotel. The hotel was used as a port.
Yep.
It was called the British. What was it? The British Bahamas.
Oh, the British Hilton.
The British Hilton's Bahamas. Yep.
Yeah. So we got to Nassau Airport. There is a representative travel agency that's working with Royal Caribbean
I
to
think
help.
they were kind of contracted out, and you'll see that in our blogs. We videotaped everything.
Right. So they took our luggage right there. We didn't have to worry about it, and then we took the cab ride over to the Hilton. I think it was $40, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
For us to go.
$40, yep.
$30-something, tip them.
No more than 40.
So when you tip them, it's lower than $40, whatever it was.
Yeah.
We got to the Hilton. They were very strict about what time you got there.
Oof.
So ours was at 2:00. They would not let you go anywhere near it until you could wait in the lobby, but they wouldn't let you nowhere near the check-in process until like 1:45.
Yeah, you had to wait. They were really strict and firm about that. They weren't rude. They were just firm because they had to organize all these people, and they're not used to filtering people through a hotel.
I straight up fell asleep in the lobby at the
Hilton.
Hilton.
Very comfortable.
And I was peeling the paint off the ceiling.
He sure was. He was knocked out. I caught a nap in there too. But it was a different type of crowd, I would say. that sailed with us. I think these were more Odyssey of the Seas and Allure sailors versus, Carnival Party. It was not like that. These were real vacationers.
Yeah.
That was looking to sail and just relax.
Yeah, and then and I saw easy sailing. Yeah, I don't think that they're going to keep the Nassau embarkation very long either. As we get more and more clearance and guidance, and more ships get the okay to sail and all that good stuff as we go through the muddy waters here. I see that going away because it is logistically a bit complicated.
You have to understand there's a procedure to everything.
Once we got to the Hilton and went upstairs, it was much like a normal check-in process for a cruise. They did ask for a couple of additional things with the testing. They asked to see your CDC card up there, your vaccine card, and then you get on the shuttle and go right to the ship. All in all, it was a very smooth process. I don't have any complaints about it.
Me either. I have no cons about the process. It was smooth, and some people, when we got to the airport, some people were so frantic that they hadn't sailed in so long. They were dropping papers, dropping a suitcase. Oh my God, 2 people were arguing. I was like, oh my goodness. But once they got on the ship, all that was gone. You can see the aggravation and the anticipation and the anxiety in people's faces before, we hit the ship. Then all of a sudden, when you seen them again, they were, sipping on a Mai Tai, sipping on a pina colada, chilling, and it was a lot of paper shuffling.
Yeah.
We never had to have this many documents to sail.
You definitely, whether you're going out of Nassau or you're doing one of the other cruises where you have to have this additional documentation, you definitely want to have everything in a folder or some kind of organization process where you have everything laid out at your fingertips. Don't go digging through. That was kind of frustrating at the Bahama Air because when we got there was a couple of families up there that were totally unprepared.
They were just throwing papers everywhere. I'm like, it's going to be okay. We were the persons that was standing behind them. I'm like, it's going to be all right. And then once they realized that the people who were working, the staff in the airport who were helping them, once they realized they had help, they were okay. Because some people were trying to do everything on their own.
So once on board the ship, guys, I thought I would lose it, but it was actually Elle. She's the one. Didn't you say you weren't going to lose it? And I said I was.
I was not going to cry.
And the opposite happened. And the opposite happened.
I didn't cry until I seen another crew member cry when they saw us.
Yeah, I had a little bit of a tear in my eye when we got on there because it was so good to see everybody. And we see our buddy David joining us on here.
David.
We met him on board the cruise, and he's actually on the cruise again.
He did it back to back. How you doing? Nice to see you, David.
Yep. So I just could not stop myself on that first day, thanking the crew and telling them I was so glad to see them and to have them back.
That was amazing. That was my favorite part about the cruise. The crew.
It was so good to see them. And
it was so good to see
I
them.
can't. They are so grateful. I mean, they can only tell you so much without getting in trouble with work and stuff like that. But I'm telling you, I talked to some of them, and kind of off the record, they really are glad to be back. They're glad to be providing for their families. They share with us some of the struggles that they went through the past year and a half without working and things like that.
Yes.
And definitely you can feel that on the islands too. When you go to Nassau, we're going to show that to you guys. But I will say this: Nassau is going to be amazing, guys. They're going through a big transformation. We have a little show.
We filmed that too. We were actually working so hard.
So many of the shops that you're used to seeing in Nassau on a Saturday morning were closed, shuttered.
They were all closed. Downtown, we rode a little bit around downtown Nassau, and the stores are closed. It was a ghost town, really.
Thank you, Francis Allen, for that super
sticker. Thank you so much, Francis.
We appreciate that. Thank you for that, loves.
Thank you for the super chat.
So it was a really smooth embarkation process. We had a great time that first day. It was just it really felt like we didn't skip a beat. It felt like we have not been gone for that long.
It didn't feel like a year and a half.
But it felt amazing to be back on the ship. And I'm telling you guys, you are just
I think
It's
the
back.
videos, when you see the videos that we took, the footage that we took, it's probably gonna put a tear in your eye because we took a different perspective of this cruise. We were very grateful, very humble to be there, but yet we had fun. It wasn't somber, it wasn't sad. We were just, we just made the cruise the stars, and we've been cruising for like 25 years, and we just took time out to show you the things that we enjoy about a cruise. So you definitely want to watch the vlogs. It's coming up.
All right, so since David's at Perfect Day today, let's talk about that. So this was our first time to Perfect Day since we have been to Coco Cay many times. This is our first time going as the transformation into Perfect Day.
Yep.
And I cannot wait to share this with you guys. If you've never been there yet, absolutely amazing.
It's worth every dime.
Even if you do not spend any money on any of the chargeable items, the things that they did are an enhancement to your experience at Coco Cay, which is now Perfect Day. It was really an amazing.
It was good.
The crew is great.
Yes.
I'm sure somebody's going to ask before we do. I think we were somewhere in the neighborhood of a little over 1,000 people on board the ship. It was like a third of the ship.
It was only a third full.
So it was absolutely no crowds anywhere.
No lines.
Coco Cay, we had absolutely no lines, so we were able to
lines.
experience a lot of things.
No lines for the buffet. No lines at all. No lines for the. It really wasn't a line for the pizza.
Easy Sailing is saying they did a carnival ship last Saturday, and they were telling us that the debarkation process was great.
Facial recognition. They're getting very technical on us Easy Sailing.
Yeah, so that's great to know. Absolutely great to hear that. So can't wait to share the Perfect Day with you. Funny moment, I would say like this. So you know how they have the tallest water slide in North America? Well, I had to try it.
I thought about it, but I said no. I looked up and was like, no, I can't.
I'm not the best when it comes to heights.
Me either.
I'll put it to you like that. So I'm climbing up this thing. I'm like, okay, somebody didn't go.
I rode the slides, but not that one.
You went the other side. Yes, you did.
Give me credit.
Yes, you did. You did go the other ones.
I'm not a big chicken. I would have rode it.
But the tall one.
If he would have held my hand all the way up, I would have did it.
So I got like halfway up, and I'm like, holy cow, this thing is high. And I'll be honest, transparent. I almost turned around, and then I was like, nope, I'm doing this. And I just focused,
you got to look up.
And I just ran up the stairs.
Really high.
Then when I got to the top, I looked down at Ms. Traveler at the end, getting ready to film me, and she looked like a little ant.
I was waving.
So.
From the bottom.
So.
Go ahead and tell them.
No, you tell them.
So Mr. Traveler waves at me at the bottom, and I'm like, I see you up there. But
first of all, I had to catch my breath when I got up to the top of that thing.
He was breathing so hard.
The little man at the top was like, "You might want to take a breath, man."
Remember, we in the Bahamas, so the Bahamian people, they have that accent, so cute. So Mr. Traveler, he's climbing up the stairs, climbing. It's about 1,000 stairs for real. It took him like 20 minutes to get up there. So me and the lifeguard is standing down where he comes out at is a long, what do you call that? A long slide at the end.
Yeah, just the exit ramp. Just you were down at the exit ramp where
I was at the exit ramp
where I come out of the tube.
I'm holding the GoPro, waiting. All of a sudden, I hear. And you know how Moses part the Red Sea? The water parted. That's what happened when Mr. Traveler came down. Have you seen Norbert Refusia when she jetted out the slide? The water was. He went past. It was bananas.
That slide is so crazy. When I finally came to a stop, this one's standing there cracking up at me.
It was so funny.
I was just.
You know how you laugh till you can't breathe and crying and can't. It was like that.
I was just leaning over the side of the thing trying to compose myself. I'm like, oh my God. The thing was so fast. It's a great ride. It is very intense, but you have to try it once. If I did it, you can do it. She's gonna go on it next time we go.
I am. I promise I will. But this time I was like, whoa! It was overwhelming just to see.
That sucker is fast. You hear me?
Cruise Talk said he would have won if you would if he would have had your
Oh
back.
no, you said he got me if I'd have
Oh, he
backed
would
out.
have had you. Okay.
No, I wasn't gonna chicken out.
Thank you so much for watching. We appreciate you. If you're new to our channel, welcome. Thank you so much. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and the notification button. That way you know we upload every single week. We are Mr. and Miss Traveler.
So that's the
ElleKosGlam.
that's the clip I was trying to get together for today, but I was like, I can't find it. So we definitely have to do that one.
Comment below and let us know if you want to see that clip.
Yeah.
I filmed it, so we might as well go ahead and share it with everybody because it was hilarious. You're gonna get a good laugh after this year and a half. Let's just laugh. Let's have some fun. Let's get out there and travel and just live your best life. You got to remember when you go on a cruise. Now we know people. We've seen about 50 people on the ship that know us, but you don't know nobody. So when you get on there, do whatever you like. Go ahead and try whatever you want to. Nobody knows you. Have fun.
Yeah, no, Easy Sail, no, they did not have a Caribbean night with oxtails. Not that I'm aware of.
They didn't have a white party either.
Everything was good on there. Our sailing on here was the first time. So we'll talk about the sea days. I can move on.
Yep.
We're going to have all this in vlogs so you guys can see it.
Yes.
The sea days, we were, yes, I wish I could share the clip, but it's on the camera and it would be, I was trying to.
It'll take some time for him to upload it, but we'll show it to you.
It's coming. It's hilarious, I'm sure.
I'll try to get that and put it on the Facebook and Instagram, put it in the stories so you can see it too.
So for this ship, this was the first time since they've started that they did a silent party.
They did a silent party. What is a silent party, Mr. Traveler? Some people don't know.
So you put on, you go, it's at the disco or the club, whatever. You put on these headphones. And the headphones have, the DJ is actually playing, or they have two, I don't know if they had two
They
DJs
have
or
like
whatever.
2 or 3 DJs lined
So
up.
there's 2 or 3 channels on the headphones.
There's rock, there's rap, then there's R&B, probably some country too.
Yeah,
We have a super chat.
Diane Jemerson.
Diane Jemerson's showing out. Thank you so much, Diane.
Thank you, Diane, for
You
that
guys-
super duper
You
duper
guys
chat.
look so refreshed and happy. We are.
Yes, I feel amazing. I tell you
Thank
that.
you, Diane. We appreciate
Thank you so much
sewing
for that
into
love.
us. Thank you.
So yeah, on your
Thank you.
headphones you can choose whatever DJ you want to listen to, and so if you take off the headphones and look, it's like complete
It
silence.
looks like the Charlie Brown kids dancing.
You can't hear nothing anybody's listening to,
Right.
but they could be listening to like 1 of 3 different channels, and everybody's doing their own little
Everybody's
dance
dancing to their own
on
music.
song on there.
It's hilarious. You have got to do a silent party on Royal Caribbean. It is so fun. And everybody is in the same club on the dance floor,
Right.
bopping away, and the lights is going. It's just like a club, but you have headphones on, and you listening to whatever you want to. Like sometimes Mr. Traveler listen to one thing, and I listen to the other, and we'll be dancing different
Yep.
with each other. It's so fun. We had such a good time.
This also was the first time they debuted the outdoors 70s party on the ship, which was awesome.
What's surprising is Royal Caribbean was so smart about what's going on. All the parties was outside. So if you wanted to party, it was outside. Everything was on deck. Everything was outside. And the sail away parties was lit. And then the 70s pool party was so much fun.
I was getting my 70s on, man.
It was fun. We had a good time. We enjoyed the band. They had a Caribbean band out there, and they also had a DJ. So they mixed it up a little bit, but it was hardly nobody on the ship. So you got a chance to know everybody really quick.
You really did.
Yeah.
So then the ship also went to Cozumel. Cozumel was very strict with the mask in the port.
They were. Yep.
To a point, I guess.
To a point, Cozumel was more relaxed than the Bahamas.
Yeah.
The Bahamas was way more stricter. They were, they had they were on their game because they wanted to make sure because they were a port. But Cozumel was strict, but not as strict,
So they had tons of excursion possibilities for you, both at Cozumel and Freeport, which was our next port.
One thing you couldn't do when you went on the cruise was you cannot, I repeat, you cannot get away from your excursion. You cannot do that because you can get kicked off the ship.
Well,
They meant it too.
yeah, but that's with some of them. But this particular sailing we were on, it wasn't as strict because everybody's vaccinated.
Okay.
So
before you couldn't do it, but now
It's-
some
it's
things you could
loosened
do.
up.
It wasn't to where they were policing us.
The problem is going to be, yes, partially, yeah, there's the unvaccinated people.
The
So
unvaccinated people.
some of them you had to be vaccinated. Then if you were doing something unvaccinated, you could only do, certain excursions and things like that. But for the most part, this particular cruise is all vaccinated except for the kids.
Comment below and let us know if you think it's fair that the vaccinated people are doing the same. Do you think there's a difference with the vaccinated people versus the unvaccinated people? It was like the vaccinated people had a different cruise from the unvaccinated people. Like some people who weren't vaccinated could not do what we did.
Yeah,
and we are vaccinated.
for the
Comment
most-
below and let us know how you feel about that.
For the most part, it was the kids that were from 0 to 15.
Yeah, it was a lot of kids that had masks on. So they had masks on the entire cruise, whereas we didn't.
Except for the one kid was drinking the hot tub water and spitting it out. Was I supposed to say that?
I worked this trauma surgery, so I'm a little bit of a germaphobe, and I'm really skeptical about the pool on the ship and the hot tub. That's two things I try to work on, but I did get in the pool with Mr. Traveler. That was a start. But as soon as I got in there, it was kids taking the water in and spitting it on everybody. I'm like, oh my God, are you serious?
Anywho, so
That was a moment.
shows were good on the ship. They had
They were excellent, especially the ice show.
Yep, they had the hot night, icy night, whatever.
Hot icy night.
The ice skating show.
Yeah, it was good.
They had plenty of shows on board the ship. They had a lot of entertainment. So those things didn't skip a beat. I would say the only thing that, and this goes back to the original question to ask, was it different from a post-COVID cruise? The only thing that was really missing, to be honest with you, was just the crowd.
It was not packed at all. And then the food was covered, and you had to ask for what you wanted.
Yeah.
That was
So
different.
them serving you at the buffet was definitely a difference. It did not bother me. It really didn't. I mean,
wasn't different.
would I rather do it myself? Yeah.
Of course.
But I mean, it wasn't bad. I went there.
It wasn't a deal breaker.
Please may have one of those. Please may have one of those.
Yeah.
And then the crew was extra good with getting us things to drink and things like that.
They were.
on
They
board.
were extra attentive when you sat down at the buffet. After you had your food and you sat down, they would come over and ask you, "Do you want anything else?" They were overly above and beyond their jobs. I really enjoyed the crew.
Yeah.
Shout out to the crew on Adventure of the Seas. We thank you so much, especially Christopher.
Yes,
our waiter.
That was our waiter, who's also a
He
subscriber.
was awesome. He also is a subscriber, and I hope he's watching. But he probably too busy.
Yeah, he's probably working now.
Yeah.
So then we did our testing 2 days before we got the ship. It was part of the cruise, so they set up one of the dining rooms to
Me
do.
and Mr. Traveler
do the
was
testing.
starting to cringe, like, oh boy, here we go, test number 4, and we took the test. It wasn't bad at all. It was
No.
a rapid test.
Yeah, they did the swab
They
test.
did the cotton.
So they just tickle your nose.
The Q-tip and the nose swab. They didn't go down the brain.
But you got to
on
definitely
that one.
check your paperwork, because on my paperwork they had my birth year wrong on my
They
paperwork.
did, so we had to go to guest services to get that fixed.
Which, if I hadn't seen it, would have been.
We would have been
Not good.
stuck. We probably still would be in the Bahamas right now. But you have to make sure you look at all your paperwork, make sure your birthday right, make sure your name is spelled correctly, make sure your information for your vaccines are there, and just double, triple check your paperwork, because like we said, let's see the paperwork. There's a lot of it.
Oh yeah.
There was a lot of paperwork. You have to make sure you look at everything and make sure everything looks good before you sail. These are people who are about to go sailing
Yep.
and just want to just get out the house and go on vacation. And you don't really mind a half empty ship. And to me, that was the best time to sail.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
I do want to touch on a couple things before we go into the ending of it.
Okay.
So, First of all, we're going to have a very big surprise for you this Friday morning, so stay tuned for that. Make sure you like and subscribe.
Hit that little
and hit
bell.
the bell.
If
So-
you hit the bell, you should be notified. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. We apologize if it don't work. But just hit the bell and you will see we are the original OGs of YouTube. We are the first couple on YouTube that ever vlogged.
So, yeah, make sure you hit the bell so
Yeah.
you get a notification. Big surprise coming on Friday. I want you guys to be able to catch it. I know some of you may be working and everything. You can sneak
Make
in,
sure you go in the
sneaking a look.
bathroom or go on your lunch break. And when we send out the notification on Facebook that we are about to go live, you definitely want to be on Friday. We got a
Okay.
surprise just for you. You, and you.
And I'm looking at Easy Sailing. They're saying everything at Carnival was like packed. So
Yeah,
we'll find out because we'll be on the Mardi Gras in next
very soon.
next 4 or 5 weeks, whatever it
We
is
sure
at this
will.
point.
And I would like to thank the person, I'm going to keep them anonymous, the person who stayed at our home while we were out of town. Thank you so much for watching our home and taking care of us while we were going. We have people here when we're not here, so we travel a lot. It is what it is. Thank you so much.
Make sure you take, like, especially if you do Royal Caribbean, it's really good to take advantage of the cruise next deposits on there, which is really great. So even if you book with your favorite travel agents,
Us.
they also still get credit for the bookings on there. So you can go to the cruise next desk on there, and even if you don't know what cruise you want to do, you can just go do $100 per person deposit, and you can book it. You know, if you book it within the first couple months, they give you extra money off the trip.
Yeah.
So it's really good. So you take advantage of that. I think you can buy, I think up to 3 of them maybe. I think
Yeah.
it is what it is, but. You know, definitely take advantage of that on there because you get additional onboard credit and things like that. So it's always cool.
Again, we want to thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for joining us. All the super chats, all the comments that we read today. You guys are our family. You're not just our subscribers. We call you family because we go way back, like Detroit days, Michigan days. We are now living in Florida. We just 2 kids from the block who decided to follow our dreams, and we want you to follow yours. That's why we push our videos for you to travel, because that is our passion, and we just want to share it with you. I just want to say shout out to my family who are in Put-in Bay, Ohio this weekend. I want to make sure they have a good time with the Do It crew. My brother, he promotes a lot of things, and they are enjoying our family there, and we want to thank you so much for watching. Click that notification bell, especially on Friday. That way you will know when we uploading, and we love thumbs up. So thank you for all the thumbs up.
Yes, Easy Sailing, we do get credit for casino rates and comps and things like that. There are some exceptions to that when you get the absolutely free ones, but even then, just let us know.
Somebody asked if we can do a unvaccinated versus vaccinated cruise. We can do that. We can do that. We can do a video on that.
So then, yes, so Carolyn, yes, there is paperwork coming from the States. That's what we're saying. We had to do the Bahama visa. We had to do the COVID testing 5 days before. We had to do the check-in with Royal Caribbean. And now coming home, we had to also do the testing. You have to, they do provide an email to you for the testing results on board the ship. And then they also give you a hard copy to take with you to the airport, which I'm great with that. I'd rather have the hard copy. So that was about it. We left the ship. The debarkation process itself was very smooth. Now, you know, you got to keep in mind that we're only a third full. So
It was a third floor. There was no lines, but the crew, it was more crew than people. And we enjoyed the food, we enjoyed the entertainment, and we enjoyed each and every person that we met on the ship. We couldn't hug them, but we gave them a fist pump, and we also have the video coming where we'll show all of that. Make sure you stay tuned for that as well.
So Phoenix Blue Designs and Travel. No, the deposit amount does not change. That's a cruise next booking. So you take, so when you take the cruise next deposit and you give it to your travel agent, we'll get an email for it anyway. Then we take that and we can do the booking, and they do honor the reduced deposit amount. So it's it is pretty cool. T. Rodriguez, did you meet any vloggers? No, we didn't see any other vloggers.
We were the vloggers.
Yeah, we didn't see any of the vloggers on there.
Me and Mr. Traveler. We've been doing this for 25 years. What are you talking about?
Yeah. No, we didn't.
No, we didn't.
If there was any other on there, I don't know.
If they were on there, they didn't approach us. So, we were
not sure.
the only ones. And when we walked on, we had it was so strange when we were filming in Perfect Day at Coco K. We had people waiting on us to say hi.
Yeah.
I'm not used to having an audience around us when we're filming, but it made it better. Because we're the same person that you see on YouTube, we are in person. So I really enjoyed Gina and Dina from Dubai. And they waited on us until we finished filming to say hi. We'll be sharing all that.
We met some great people on board the ship, and appreciated meeting and talking to each and every one of you. So now let me talk about.
Okay, bring the tea.
Let me talk about and when I read comments about companies and things like that, I usually take it with a grain of salt unless I'm seeing everybody saying it, which a lot of people were saying it. But what are we gonna do? This Adventure of the Seas was a last-minute decision because we were supposed to go on the Odyssey. Literally, we didn't have our cruise paid for with our canceled Odyssey sailing until the night before we got on this ship. Talk about nerves. We're down in Miami, like Royal Caribbean. Like, matter of fact, it was right before we went into Joe's.
It definitely was.
7 p.m. on the day of our anniversary. We are not getting on this phone until you get our credit going out. We were in Miami ready to get on a plane without our cruise being paid for. They paid for it the day before. So anyway, Bahama Air.
Do you really want to go there on this video?
Listen, I gotta go there. So
okay, well, spill the tea.
Well, they say if you got time to spare, go with Bahama Air. Isn't that what they said?
That's what they said.
So
if you dare,
going there, we were kind of stuck using them because it was last minute, and all the other airline options for us were very expensive because it was so last minute. We flew in day of and we left day of because of the last minuteness of the trip. And we had prior engagements in Miami, so we had to basically leave from Miami. So we were kind of limited on what we could do. So we had to go with Bahama Air. I saw a lot of very bad reviews for Bahama Air. Now, fair enough, going there, we had absolutely no problems, but it was the first flight of the day for them. With the day we left, so the plane was there, it was ready to go. We got on and left. Coming back home,
I'm gonna have to sip.
One great thing, and this is not a Bahamas Air thing. One great thing I like about Nassau, if you did not know this, and I didn't know this until we got there, is they actually do your U.S. Customs there in Nassau. So once you check in at the airline desk, if you're flying back to the United States, your next process is to go through the security clearance like you normally would, take your shoes off, blah, 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 go through the scanner. Once you leave there, you go directly into customs. There's where you present your passports and your documentation, and then they ask you all the questions about if you got anything to declare, blah, blah, blah. So once you go through that, you are done. Once that plane leaves and lands in the United States, you do not have to go through customs again, which was... That was great, because if I had to go through customs after the day we had dealing with Bahamas Air, they tried to suck the vacation out of me, but it didn't work.
Yes, they did.
So anyway, we got to, we went through everything.
Thumbs up if you loving this story. Make sure you stay to the end, because this is why we put it at the end. Thumbs up if you want to hear the rest of this. You definitely want to hear this story, because this is going to save you a lot of time and misery.
So they recommend that you get to the Nassau airport 3 to 4 hours before your flight because of the lines and the customs requirement.
What time did we get there?
We got there a little bit prior to 8 o'clock in the morning.
What time was our flight?
Our flight was at 11:45.
Stay with us. Stay with us, okay?
In theory.
Stay with us.
If everything would have went according to plan, we could have picked up Mr. Fuzzy Paws, who's over here sleeping, and been in our driveway by 4:30 p.m.
Yes.
Roughly. Moral of the story, 4:30 p.m. we were flying over the Atlantic Ocean.
Time to spill the real tea.
So we get to the airport. We got there early, so it was good. Was not any long lines. However, I saw the lines coming in afterwards. And I understand why they said get there ahead of time for your cruise. So we got there. It was great.
First
checked
of all,
in.
we couldn't go to the gate because they locked it. So we couldn't walk to the gate
I
2 hours ahead.
I haven't even gotten to that part yet.
Oh, it's a lot.
So when I was checking in, we were checking in at the front gate. We're trying to figure out who was going to help us because the gate agents are on island time, man. I love them, but they're on island time.
We just want to fly home.
Which is fine with me. I didn't really care because it's 8 o'clock in the morning. We had
It was early.
11:45, so I'm cool.
We
Whatever.
We're very quiet, and they did not know we were vloggers at all.
The agents were fighting with each other, so we had our luggage there, and then the lady says, oh, "Come over here and we'll check with this lady." And then the agent was right there, said, "Why are you leaving? Let me tell you something. She don't like me," and all this. We got in all that. I'm like, listen.
The two agents was arguing in front of us, and we just standing there like.
I'm like, I just want to check the bags in, man. You know,
we're just trying to go home.
Y'all can continue this later after work or something. Whatever.
This is 8 o'clock in the morning. We early for the flight.
So
they're arguing for like 15 minutes, and me and Mr. Traveler just standing there just waiting for them to finish. This is Bahamas Air.
So after we got through the security, went through the customs, boom, we're good. The airport is very nice. They have a nice,
beautiful.
lot of little restaurants and little shops and everything. Very, very modern and nice.
Make sure you listen to this.
But because you have already went through customs, you're in pretty much a sterile environment. You're confined to the certain terminals.
This block of space.
So we walked to where our gate is supposed to be, and there's a locked door there for those 2 gates for Bahamas Air.
And you will see it in the vlog.
So we had to wait. I mean, it's not a big deal. We're waiting anyway, but so we had to sit there and wait for them to unlock the doors. So they brought a dog in, and the dog was sniffing all our bags, and
we used to that.
You know, the dog went and sniffed around in the terminal and all that stuff, and then they opened the gate. So now this is our second move. So now we walk in there, get to the gate, and it looks like, I'm telling you, it looks like a holding area for folks getting ready to go to jail. It
feel like
you
prison.
all plexiglassed in, and there's nets above there like you can't escape and stuff. So anyway,
he is not lying.
So anyway, we're sitting there for a few hours, and we noticed the time change on the board from 11:45 to 12:45. I'm like, oh, great, here we go again.
So our flight was delayed 1 hour.
Right.
So we looking at the board like, oh no, everybody like, oh God, oh goodness, oh
So
goodness. We're delayed.
Now check
1 hour.
Now check this out. I don't know. So what they said was that on the flight from Miami to Bahamas, something happened to the back 2 rows on the airplanes, and they had to fix the seats. Smells fishy to me. Whatever, you know. It probably.
Me and Mr. Traveler went marching up there. What's going on? Why is it delayed? You know, we have a half-hour flight to Miami.
I have a feeling them saying the back 2 rows needed repairing sounded better than the engine almost fell off or something.
I'm thinking it's something more than the chairs, but okay.
Right. So anyway, after we're sitting there waiting, then they say, "Oh, because the plane is late, we can't be at this gate anymore. So now you have to go to this other gate, and the other gate
was on the other side,
clean on the other side
of the airport,
complete opposite end."
So me and Mr. Traveler packed all our stuff up, all our things. We have to walk all the way over to the other side, to the other gate where they said we have to wait over there.
Right. Now
what time is it?
Now it's evident that the plane that we're going to get on is going to be, we're going to be loading up on the tarmac.
Outside. We have to walk outside.
Right. So, you know, whatever. We've done that before.
Yeah, we okay with that.
So we're sitting there. Then.
So what time is it?
I don't know. Listen, they said what they started saying
we've
is
been there since 8 o'clock.
We're looking. There's no Bahama Air airplane out there. Then they said
peeking out the window.
We'll give you an update at 12:45. Okay. So anyway, I kind of fast forward a little bit here for you guys. All of a sudden we see, and we flew there on
this is a true story.
On a twin engine airplane that probably had 50 or 60 rows. It was a decent size, you know, like a Southwest airline type of plane.
Yeah.
So that's the plane that we were supposed to fly home on. So as we're standing there waiting for this plane, now it's well after 1 o'clock.
We've been there since 8 o'clock. It's 1 o'clock, guys.
It's-
Like 1
it's-
o'clock in the afternoon.
It's probably
now.
later than that. Anyway, we start seeing. I see a prop plane pull up, which only has like
A
maybe
puddle
15,
jumper.
20 rows in it.
A puddle jumper.
And so then all of a sudden they make an announcement. People who have connecting flights come up here, and no
Me and Mr. Traveler sitting there like, huh? We're trying to get to Miami because that is where our car is, so we can drive home. So we don't have a connecting flight. So everybody who had connecting flights, they had to go up.
Not everybody, because they didn't have enough room for everybody. Had connecting
There
flights.
was only 20 people on the plane out of 150.
So there were people on that plane who missed their connections because they couldn't get on the puddle jumper.
And oh boy, was they mad.
So the game plan was, then all of a sudden another puddle jumper pulls up that the rest of us,
Here's another plane pulls up behind that one.
and the rest of us are supposed to go on that one. Now, mind you, there's more of us than will
There's a
fit on
lot of
that
us.
than will fit on that plane. That's A. B. We're trying to figure out how they're going to know whose luggage is what to go onto the airplanes.
It was a complete nightmare.
So as we're sitting there, everybody's becoming very friendly with each other at this
We
point.
getting to know each other.
Because
Everybody
everybody's fussing.
fussing. So we like, what is going on? One man went up there, his face was red. I demand to talk to the manager. And they're like, we are the manager. You know, this is behind my hair.
And
So,
wait a minute.
it
So
was horrible.
the flight crew that was for our plane went off on the prop job. So we didn't have a pilot for
So
the other prop
pilot
job.
left. Then the pilots and everybody just left on the puddle jumper. So we sitting here without connecting flights. Where everybody who don't have a connecting flight, we all sitting together like, wow.
So
what
it's
we gonna
now
do?
2:30, 2:45. They say,
It's like 3 o'clock.
oh,
now.
we have another big plane.
This was all yesterday.
Yeah, we have another big plane, but it's back at the first gate you guys were at.
So guess what we have to do? We have to pack up all our stuff again, move all the way to the opposite side of the airport again. This is our third move. They changed our gate 3 times.
By this time, I'm hangry
He was livid.
because and the airport was so packed at this time. So the few restaurants that they had there was like 50 people in line.
Right.
So
Because
you
we went through customs, we stuck.
couldn't wait in line for the food because you didn't know whether or not we were going to have a plane.
Right.
So we go back to the other gate. The plane is there.
Jeez. Thank
I kid
God.
you not. So now it's almost 3 o'clock. So I'm calculating when we're going to get home. I'm talking to the
Okay.
dog sit.
Everybody just standing in line like, I'm not sitting down. I'm gonna stand in line. And the agent is like, you guys can sit down if you like. Everybody like, no, we are not sitting down. We are standing in line
So,
because we,
so they fixed us.
Woo.
First of all,
It was
the
a
two
heated-
agents,
it
the
was
two
heated.
agents started arguing again.
Here we go with the arguing again.
The
Remember
same
I
two.
Remember I told you they were arguing at 8 o'clock in the morning? 3 o'clock, they got started again. They started arguing again.
The one said she wasn't going to jail for nobody.
She said, I'm not going to prison for you or nobody else. I want to make sure this manifest is done. Because when you fly, they have a manifest of everybody, and they changed our flight so much
Oh,
that they constantly putting our information.
Watch how we did this. So yeah, so we're standing there, and
It's
they
something
were,
up a horror
they
story.
basically came on the. She came on the PA and said, "We will update you when the flight is going to leave. Please have a seat." And because it was like 50 of us
Woo.
waiting in line, and then when she said that,
It went berserk in there.
have a seat for what? The plane's there, blah blah blah. So I guess
It was the jump off.
I guess they fixed us. They said, "Oh, they want to sit. They want to sit and wait on the plane, huh?" So they let us on the plane, and we sat in the plane for over an hour.
So we were stuck in the plane for an hour on the tarmac.
What happened was, first of all, they had to figure out the first plane that left, the little puddle jumper that left. They had to give that plane the call number for the flight.
Mm-hmm.
So the plane we were on had to have a different call number. We couldn't be the same call number,
Mm-hmm.
and they had to transfer all of our information from that one to the new flight number, and we had to sit there and wait while they did that and figure out whose luggage was whose.
Now it's 5 o'clock in the afternoon. We
So-
had been there 8 o'clock in the morning. We
Well-
were there since 8 o'clock. It's 5 o'clock. We stuck on the tarmac.
Long story
5
short,
o'clock.
we got home. I don't know, what was it? It was well after 10 o'clock. It was almost 11 o'clock
We
at night.
didn't get home till 11 o'clock last night. We had to go get our puppy. Got him, came home. It was 11 o'clock.
Baby, I was burning up the turnpike.
This is a 30-minute flight from the Bahamas. We in Florida. 30 minutes. It took us from 8 o'clock in the morning. We didn't fly out to what?
Right,
We didn't
cruise talk.
land
Mental
till
note, no
7.
Bahama Air.
We
Absolutely.
didn't land till 7 o'clock last night. We didn't get home till 11 o'clock.
Oh my God, yeah, it was awful. And I saw somebody want an airline voucher. I don't even know if I want a voucher, to be honest with you. Hadn't even crossed my mind.
We didn't even want the free ticket. Like, we was like, forget it, because the agents were arguing so bad, and it was, it was so stressed in that airport. People were getting together, and it was like us against the agents, basically.
They fixed us though. They stuck us on an airplane.
Yeah, so they put us on a plane. We were stuck for an hour. But the two agents that was fighting, it was so hilarious.
Oh my God.
It was funny, but we did get a chance to meet a lot of people.
Yeah.
And we made friends with a lot
sure
of people
did.
on there. Because we was together like the whole day. You got to remember, 8 o'clock in the morning to 11 o'clock at night. That's what time we got home.
All right, everybody. So that is in a nutshell. Like I said, there's going to be a lot of videos coming up. I want to thank everybody who's been downloading and listening to the podcast, our No Cruise Control with Cruise Talk and myself.
Thank you for enjoying it.
Enjoy bringing that to you, and we'll be doing things, making it a little bit bigger and better as we go along. We're learning things as we go along, but definitely sharing our experience and thoughts and insight on cruising and our love of cruising that you guys have. Again, stay tuned for a bunch of videos that Mrs. Traveler is going to put together, all the fun stuff that we did and sharing with you.
Mr. Traveler gonna help me.
And it was for us, I got to be honest with you. I mean, we really didn't do any excursions or anything outside of Perfect Day. It was really it was very somber for me. I was just so grateful to be back, and I'm going to do a whole nother video on this. We're going to do a whole nother video on this, but I'll just mention it just astonishes me that there are some people who can pick up right where they left off pre-pandemic and act so freaking nasty.
Oh my God.
It took everything in me not to say something to these people.
We talked about the crew a lot, but we did not talk about the sailors.
There are some people who just absolutely blow my mind how nasty it can be. We're going to do a whole separate video.
We have to.
I'm talking about that because
we ran into a lot of people who just disrespected the crew. Literally disrespected the crew on the Adventures of the Seas. We have got to talk about that. Yeah, we have got to put the word out. You cannot treat the crew any kind of way you want to. You cannot do that.
We don't have to tell you guys none of this because you all already know. Yeah. We're like-minded because we have the same thoughts. You guys are on here listening to us.
Yes.
Listen,
we literally saw some crews get ripped from passengers, and that is not fair to them. They didn't have anything to do with what's going on, and we're gonna tell you about it.
It doesn't do anything to be kind. If we haven't learned anything in this past year and a half, is to be grateful for something. And we all love to do this. It's probably your favorite thing, like it is ours.
I think they took their frustration out on the crew.
And it's so great to be there. But then people that's their livelihood. They've been without for so long. And you also have to have patience with this because they've also been out of practice for a year and a half.
They have.
So they're learning how to get back to doing these things, but also now they also have to learn how to do it with this COVID stuff going on, and they have to wear masks.
They do.
The whole time.
Me and Mr. Traveler was very quiet on this cruise. We were sitting back taking it in. We were listening. Our ears was open a lot, and we can hear the nasty comments coming for the crew, and we did not like that one bit, and we will definitely address that on our channel. It has to stop. It just, we live in one world. If you, like I worked in surgery, if you open us up, we the same color.
But and I want to say this:
why take your frustration out on the crew?
The good people outweighed the bad people by far.
The good people definitely.
But I am amazed that there was anybody on there
ungrateful.
That would be ungrateful. Yeah, absolutely. I'm surprised I heard one person that say something but I mean there was people just being nasty.
They were being nasty. We had one couple that was next to us. They sent their food back 4 times. Four times.
The lady that cut in front of us in the guest services, we're clearly standing there. She's cut in front of us, started talking to the agent. I'm like, I can't cut up.
She just ripped into the agent.
So then not only did she cut us off or jump in front of us, then she just tells the agent about you need to clean this
You
up
need
right
to
here
clean this.
immediately.
You
This
touched this, you need to
oh,
clean
it was
that.
it was
I'm
just so
touching this, so
nasty.
you need to clean that. And I'm touching this, so you need to clean that.
Yeah.
Who are you?
And this is
Miss
kind of
Traveler said something. 'Cause
Yeah.
I couldn't hold it in.
and this is kind of the downside about being public figures because we
Oh,
can't
yeah.
really
We can't cut up like that.
do like you want to. But I mean, we do.
We will not
politely put you
I
in
would
check.
not be disrespectful on the ship. I would not cut up, but I have noticed it, and it's hard to just listen to. You know, these people are working till they sweating. They're taking care of us for 7 days.
Listen, they're at Coco Cay and it's hot. I mean, when I tell you it was hot,
It was
it was
smoking.
hot, Jack.
And it's hot in Florida, but it was really hot.
And these
there.
guys are there wearing their face masks,
They
serving
got
us
masks
food.
on, hats, the whole outfits.
The lifeguards, at least the lifeguards get to cool off a little bit with the water there or something.
Yeah. But the servers, the waiters, they were waiting on us outside in the sand. Like bringing us food and bringing us drinks because you can't go out there and get your own. So the people who had a problem with that really had a problem with it. And it was like, it was just totally disrespectful.
Yeah.
Some people were just absolutely disrespectful, and we ran into an entire family of them. Unfortunately, it is what it is. It happens, but we notice it. But we trying to spread kindness because we got to live in this world together.
Yeah, we said all that to say just be grateful to
Just
be
be
back there.
grateful.
Goodness gracious. But we don't have to tell you guys that because you guys are the best. We
That
know
really burns me up when I see somebody working hard and they working honestly, legally, trying to make money, and you constantly beating them down, and they're in the sun, and your kids is tearing up, and your kids is tearing this up, throwing food, literally literally cursing people out, and
Yeah.
I had a serious problem with that.
And so we'll talk about that later. But
Yeah.
and
Seriously.
when you guys go on these cruises, and especially these reduced capacity cruises,
awful.
even Carnival with the 75%, please understand that with 75%, the people are
The
not
crew.
getting their tips that they're used to getting
No, they
because
not.
it's reduced capacity, and they're having to work. I consider extra hard because they have to do all these COVID things now and wear this mask.
Yeah.
So please, guys, when you get on there, do your prepaid gratuities, do your gratuities through your
They
account.
are earning it.
But also, please, guys, go in there, dig in your wallet, put some in the envelope, whatever, fold up in your hand, give them some extra on there so they can help their families and everything. I'm sure a lot of these countries didn't have. What did we have here? The help we were getting,
Unemployment
unemployment and
benefits.
the test, the help we
Yeah.
were getting from the government. What was it called? The
The
COVID checks, whatever you want to call them.
yeah, stimulus.
Checks. So, they've went a long time without they've burned up their life savings trying to stay afloat this time.
Yeah.
So put some in their hand, guys.
Yes.
Show them that you care.
Yes.
And
Me and
let's
Mr.
help 'em
Traveler, we don't say much on the cruise. If you notice us, you barely notice us on the cruise. People like, oh my God, when they see us on the elevator, that's Mr. Traveler. I heard people whispering.
you can say hi.
You can say hi to us, but we are very, very quiet on the cruise. We don't tell people what we do. We don't tell people Mr. and Miss Traveler because we trying to enjoy the experience.
I'm quiet until they turn the music on.
But if somebody is very rude and disrespectful, we don't like that.
Right.
We don't like that at all. So thankfully we have a platform to share this information with you all. But I was laughing because when we were on the elevator, there was a little boy and little girl, and they watched our channel. They said, "That's Mr. Traveler." Is that him? Yeah, that's him. And me and Mr. Traveler looked at each other like, "Oh yeah, they watched."
Oh,
our
at
channel.
the Hilton,
so funny.
they had to wait for me to wake up before they asked me. I was
Yeah.
I was living in a chair like this. It was a comfortable chair too,
He
y'all.
seriously was on
man,
vacation.
I was knocked
good.
out. My throat
It
hurt
was.
when I woke up. I
A
was
lot
snoring
of
so
people
loud.
walked past us and did a double take, like, I can't believe that they're here. And I'm like, hi, how you doing? We just stay back in the cut. We kind of stay low key, but we notice how people are being treated. We try to treat people with kindness and love. And that's why we do what we do for our channel. We're very passionate about what we do, and we wouldn't be here if we weren't passionate about it. So make sure you treat them with kindness and try to get through it. When you first get on the ship, you're gonna be a little frustrated because there's a lot of forms to fill out. It's a lot of things to fill out. But just make sure you put yourself in the crew shoes.
I was so glad to be on there. I was not frustrated at all, not one bit.
No.
Not even the Bahamas Air thing at the end broke me down. Aren't you surprised?
I am so
Because normally
surprised.
that would send me over
That
the
would have
top.
sent him off. Okay, he
I
would've
was
went
just,
off.
I just
No,
cannot.
he didn't complain.
I just.
He didn't say anything out of line. We just sat back and watched everybody else. It was like watching a circus.
Yeah,
But we didn't
surprised.
say anything.
I was so glad to just be able to back to cruising. Just was kind of the big scheme of things. I'm like, you know what?
Absolutely.
As long as we get back home safely or whatever.
Yeah,
we'll be
we would
good.
say if you want to think about Bahamas Air, only take it if you have to, if you don't have a other choice, because I think there's some kinks that they need to work out. They are definitely low on staff. It was not a pleasant experience, and of course, on our platform, we have got to share that with you. So we share things that we indulge in and we think that'll benefit you, and we also share things that we don't think will work out for you. And I would say give Bahamas Air some air.
Well,
Okay.
you know,
You probably
unless
don't
they
wanna take them
unless
right
they got
now.
a smoking deal and you're willing to
Willing
roll
to
the
wait.
dice, you know. Like I said, going there was fine, no problems. It
And
was
not
just coming
only
back.
was it
So-
not only was it our flight, it was other flights in there with Bahamas Air. So it's like a common theme that was going on. I think they were totally understaffed. That's probably what it was. But we really enjoyed the cruise. The cruise made up for all of it. We're so glad to safely go and safely come back where we had no hurt, harm, or danger come near us, and we love each and every one of you, and that's why we bring the tea. That's why we bring you things you need to know. So hopefully you benefited from that. If you did, give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Hit the notification button so you can stay abreast of what we're doing.
Yep. So absolutely, guys. So just recap. We'll have some vlogs coming this week on, you know, the vlogs from the trip. We'll have the ship tour coming. We'll have some food reviews coming. Some other things coming out. Big surprise Friday. Stay tuned for that.
Yeah, some people know what it is, but that's fine.
Stay tuned for that. And then
Yeah.
if you're interested in joining us for any groups, we are doing the Allure.
We're doing the Allure for
of
my
the
birthday,
seas.
April 2nd. I'm laughing at Travel Jet Setter said, I heard about Bahamas Air. Child. Yes. Yes, child. Give us some air. Yeah, we're doing Allure for my birthday, April 2nd.
April 2nd, that's an 8-day
Yep.
Eastern Caribbean on the Allure of the Seas. That is going to be amazing. Just 8 days on an Oasis class ship is great all by itself, and then it's doing a great itinerary, Eastern Caribbean, St. Thomas, St. Martin, St. Kitts, I believe, and I'm forgetting someplace else. But that's going to be absolutely great. Then the biggie next year, Carnival Celebration, which is the Mardi Gras sister. We'll be on the inaugural sailing
We'll be on the first one
on
selling
Thanksgiving
out. Now, don't
next year.
think if you go on this selling, don't think every cruise gonna be like that, because it's not. The inaugural sellings are something different. You know, they lay out the red carpet. It's very, very nice, but you definitely want to be on it so you can reap the benefits.
Right, yeah, that'd be great. Now
Yeah.
that's on Thanksgiving. It's a 6-day trip out of Miami. It's going to be great. That's going to be the inaugural sailing for that ship, so it's going to be super duper fun. You know, it's going to be lots of surprises and things like that going on.
Yeah.
And of course, we're going to make sure that you have a wonderful time.
Me and Mr. Traveler is very relaxed. We very refreshed. Thank you so much, Candy Apple 839. Yes, we did get a lot of rest on this ship. We didn't have a choice because it was half full, and it was not like really jumping or party ship. It was more like everybody is glad to just be there. It was one of those cruises. So thank you so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed our live videos all week, and then we're going to be uploading all this week. So stay tuned. And you know, ElleKosGlam, you know I'm gonna bring it with the Soleil. You know, that's what I do for fashion.
I don't get any credit for the videography for
He
that.
takes pictures of me and film me, so thank you so much, Mr. Traveler. He does. I have to stop what I'm doing so I can take pictures of those beautiful outfits that I wear, and I'm so glad that you guys enjoy my fashion, and I don't mind sharing it.
All right, everybody, we're going to thank you so much. Thank you for all the wonderful super chats. Thank you for all the support.
Yes,
Uh,
Mr. Traveler can cook. I told you he can cook.
Oh,
we
yeah, we
back.
gotta
We we fresh back from vacation, and he is cooking some fish for me and a wedge salad. And I just can't wait to eat it. Oh, and some string beans and potatoes and some more stuff. What else?
I hope I'm getting some gratuity out of this.
Back to work. Back to work.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for a lot of stuff this week.
Life short.
Have fun.
See the world.
Bye, guys.
Bye, everybody.